So it's 420 day. I'm your host of the Higher Living Show. My name is Chad Walkerton. I'm the founder and product CEO at OnTracka. And today, why has 420 got such a grip on culture at the moment? And is 420 going mainstream? That's some of the questions we're going to unpack today. What's happening around the places where you are? We're going to give a big overview, but to start back, let's go back to the 1970s to where this seems to have all got started. And if you're watching, do you ever get those feelings in the afternoon when you look at your watch and it's it's within the range of say 10 to 15 minutes of 420 and you're kind of like, oh, I could probably have my medication at this time. Well, that feeling that you may have, and today you may be going earlier and medicating earlier in the day, however you go about it. But 420 was a time when a group of teenagers in California would all meet at around the block of a toilet to spark some up, blaze it away for the afternoon after they finish their school day. That is one of the stories on how 420 got started. But there's also some other stories as well. One of them is that 420 was the police code for possession of cannabis. And so that then, obviously, the roots of where we are today with cannabis, many parts of the world, we take it for advantage about where we are. But you got to think back, possession was something that was criminalized and still is criminalized to this day. And so the term 420, not exactly sure of the origins, but it's more about what are you doing for your 420 day today? And as you saw this week, there's a whole heap of stuff going on in different parts of the world as usual. We see every year in London, there's the big event over in Hyde Park. There's going to be multiple 420 events up in North America. And Australia is joining the party this year with several events that we can go to. Take your pick. We've just displayed several. Hope you enjoy your day. While there's a lot of excitement around 420 and you're going to be out there with being an advocate, talking about how good the plan is and getting into culture, what I think is important about how we started the show, about what happened, where did we start? We started with a group of teenagers were needing to hide what they were doing, and it just happened to be at 420. Or the other potential story is that it was a criminal code for possession. So when we have a look at where we are today, 2024 in the landscape, let's drill into it. Where are we at? So we've seen that there's been the police come out and say zero tolerance for these 420 events. Zero tolerance, zero tolerance. We've seen discrimination of patients in hospitals not being able to access their medicines. We've seen discrimination in education environments of individuals not being able to access their medicines. We've seen Rio Tinto ban any of their workers from having any traces of cannabis in their system. We've seen the crazy driving laws that continue to exist in Australia. And we see nothing around any changes to make homegrown possible for Australia. There's some fairly big issues. So let's not get too carried away. Let's celebrate the culture. Let's do what you've got to do for today, but also recognize that we're not in a situation, and we're not in a situation as yet where this plant is free and where we know the potential of where this can go and how we believe we can utilize this plant to unlock health, happiness, and prosperity on a micro and macro level. That's what we want. That's what we're standing for. Still major challenges, not to mention where we went with my rant 2 weeks ago when we saw potential regulatory changes in Australia. We're seeing the Farm Bill potentially removed or changed in America, which included the new FDA commissioner coming out and saying that CBD cannot be a dietary supplement. There's a lot to celebrate around the culture. but we've got to be mindful about where we've come from and what some of the signaling is at the moment about where we actually are and how free the plant actually is. Something for you to consider this 420. It's high living. My name is Chad.